You want to do a little word association? I'll throw some names out there. You can give me a one-word answer. You can give me a 5-minute answer. You can go as long as you want.
Sure.
All right. Let's go. How about first name is Taz?
Taz. He hated me at first. He hated that night when I went down there, he was pissed. I was late. We went over before why I was late. I had to get my knee drained and this, and that, the other thing. Had some heat over the year. WWE 24/7 or one of their shows, and I answered right back, and back and forth, and fast forward to this day, I saw him at AEW. We're grown men with families. Things change. A lot of that old school, that old testosterone side, and things are cool. It's amazing how as you get older and you become more mature, and you have a family and you have other stuff going on, and it just, things are more important. And so it was great to see him. And I got a picture. It was real funny when my son was younger and we would watch wrestling tapes. Of course, one of his favorite wrestlers is effing Taz. And me and Dina would laugh. My wife would laugh. She goes, and he has no idea how much the guy hated you. I said, nope. Loved Taz. Loved him some Taz. Yeah.
That's great.
So it's
Jeff
cool.
Jarrett.
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett.
I saw Jeff Jarrett at the Ric Flair match this weekend. And you know me, I'm not looking for any kind of full-time WWE job. Nothing like that. I have no desire whatsoever. Jeff Jarrett this weekend looked better and wrestled better than he did in, I'd say, the end of WCW and TNA. That's how good he looked. Drew heat, great shape, his hair, everything. The way he punches, his work looked phenomenal. He's always doing something. He's always doing something big. A trailblazer for sure. And just wrestling-wise, he's another. I really don't think I've ever seen a bad Jeff Jarrett match ever. He's just a really solid, really good, not solid, beyond good. But I was saying like solid, meaning he could have a great match with anybody. No matter what, big guy, little guy, you could depend on him to have a great match with anybody. And I was really amazed with how good he looked this Sunday. I think a lot of people were. I mean, he looked phenomenal. Tremendous amount of respect for Jeff.
Scott Hall.
Did not know him well. Incredible talent. I do watch Scott Hall tapes frequently to learn stuff still. I'm still a student of the game at 48. He's one of the guys I like watching. Incredible performer. Him with Kevin Nash really changed the landscape of pro wrestling when they went to WCW. Gone too soon, unfortunately.
Sabu.
What can I say? I am eternally grateful to Sabu. I was probably 19 or 20 when Dennis Carluso booked me against Sabu at the Woodbury Armory in New Jersey. I was doing a few matches for Dennis for maybe a year or so, and he was really trying to bring me up. He put me with Sabu. I was this new kid, green kid, and my tights were green, and I was green, and he could have squashed me, or he could have given me very, very little, and he gave me a whole lot. You were there. He gave me a whole lot. We had a hell of a match.
I was there, and your mother's head was in my shoulder the entire match because she was freaking out during it. I don't know if you know that. Your mother, I was holding Mama Ford during your match with Sabu.
Very nervous Italian mother. She should not have been there. If you had to say name one person that made your career, had it not been for that match, that very match, who knows? So I'm always grateful, and I know I'm just repeating myself now, but yeah, he was the guy.
Awesome. Last name, because I had a few more, but we basically talked about him already. Someone we've known for years, someone who's in the news a lot right now, someone you worked with in WCW, Sonny.
Ah, what a curveball. uh, very always sweet to me and my wife when we see her, but just bad habits, bad judgment, incredible in-ring personality. Nobody can take that away. But just I talk about this. Let me parlay this in. She's a product of a very toxic wrestling a culture, I believe. When my son was born, 2007, everybody asked, "So, is your son going to be a wrestler too?" Absolutely not. I don't want him around, but yada, yada, yada. And at that time, I was doing a few like independent shows here and there, really wasn't out there immersed in wrestling or the culture of wrestling. Years go by and I'm still doing just a few shows a month. We fast forward to 2022. I've gone to AEW. I've done all these higher level independent shows and stuff. And the culture that we broke in with is extremely different. You don't see the crazy drug use. You don't see guys popping pills, drinking beers, and hopping in the car. That was never our deal, but we saw it. We saw it. And it was, we were always amazed at how crazy it was. And it's very sad when you think about all the people that you grew up watching and loving to watch as a fan. And I'd say 75 or 80% of them are dead for one reason or another. And I just think that 80s, 90s wrestling culture was just very toxic and unhealthy. And I think she's a product of that. She still has to take responsibility for what she's done. But I believe that she's the product of just a very bad wrestling culture. We all make our own decisions, but at that time, it was a lot easier to get immersed in it when you're surrounded by people tearing it up like that constantly. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So, but as an in-ring wrestling personality, phenomenal. Outside of the ring, unfortunately, very, very messed up.